Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna. For those of you who are new here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. In this video, we'll be doing the 4th edition of my coloring book collection, and if that is of interest to you, please stay tuned. Okay, I am calling this next set of books The Ladies, which is a bit misleading because actually I think about 90% of my coloring books are by ladies, but I couldn't think of anything else because it actually covers quite a few ladies. So I wanted to show you these two first. This is Flora by Maria Trolle, yes, and then Joanna Basford's How to Draw Inky Wonderlands. Now this one I actually don't consider a coloring book, so this one will never be colored in, but I keep it with my other Joanna Basford books. I could color in this. It's the exact same paper. It's a style that I enjoy, but for me, this is more of a reference book, but I will consider it a coloring book because it can be colored in, and it's also Joanna Basford. And then the reason why I wanted to show you this one is because this is the only coloring book in the arsenal of books that I have that I've received between January and June that I have not started something in. There's some that I'm going to be showing you that I have not finished something, but I have not done anything in this one. And yes, as you can see, the cover and the back cover were misprinted, but there is absolutely nothing wrong with the book itself, and so I did not feel a need to send it back. In fact, this is very humorous to me. So I like them, you know, I mean, I don't like that her face has got words on it, but I like that it's quite different from the books that you see in the community. So I wanted to show you those two first. And so, as you might have guessed, one of the ladies in this series is Maria Trolle. I do have 2 books by her, and the first one that I actually purchased is Luna. And I did do these beginning pages as soon as I received the book, so that right there. This was, I believe, the very first watercolor that I did with my friend Emma of Emma Colors. And this one was a bit of a stressful endeavor for me because I tried new mediums and I didn't like it at first, but this is actually a really fun page for me. A lot of these started out as oh no's and they turned in oh my. So, I mean, you live and you learn, right? But I love that it was a buddy color with my friend Emma. She was the very first person that I asked to be a buddy color with, and she's so gracious and amazing and just so thoughtful. And then I immediately cheated on her with 2 other ladies, Erica and Poet's Vice, but she's understanding. She gets it. But this is one of the pictures that I completed. I didn't get a chance to do my nails, and as you can see, they're stained from the red color, and so that is from my nail polish because I had red nails at the time. It's interesting what you remember. And then this here was a challenge that I did last month for Olga Rani, and the prompt was kid, and so that's the other picture that I've colored in here. Now I had looked through some flip throughs of Maria Trolle's books. I didn't know that I'd liked it, but I thought, well, Luna is a name that my sister used in a lot of her game characters, and so I thought, okay, well, if I'm going to get any of them, I'm going to get this one. And then Flora was one of the Prime Day deals, and so I got that one. And I believe, unless she comes out with something new that's more stunning, I believe that's going to be all for my Maria Trolle collection. Of the 2 books, not going to lie, I think I actually like Flora better. There's a lot more houses and little cottages and things, and I really enjoy those. But the paper is good, the quality is good, and I am beginning to really enjoy her artistic style. And so that's Luna by Maria Trolle. Another lady in this collection is Hannah Carlzon. This is Tales of the Forest Kingdom, I believe. I don't know if it's Swedish or Norwegian or Dutch, or I know it's not English. The English version will be coming out, I believe, in August. I don't feel a need to have another copy of this, and so this is the only one that I'm going to have. And this one I've marked. So this I'm in the process of working on. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not a huge fan of this page. I do have some ideas. I'm probably about 80% there. I do still need to color those bugs, but the background I did in Inktense, and I've come to learn, and this is one of the examples, that Inktense is amazing when you're working in small spaces, but not so great when you're working on larger spaces. But I think there's a way that I can bring this so that I'm at least happy with the results, but this is where we are right now. And again, that's a buddy color with Poet Spice. And then this one right here, I did a butter color. That's why I keep saying butter color, because I'm a fast slow talker or a slow fast talker. It just comes out that way. So this was a butter color with my friend Emma of Emma Colors 2020. And when we were going back and forth on choosing a picture, I did a dibs not choosing, and I touched my nose, and so that's legit. She had to choose, and so she chose the bug one, and I'm happy because I probably would not have chosen this picture to color just on my own, but I think it's so interesting looking. There's just so much going on the page. I love the colors that I chose for it. Hers is amazing as well, and it really makes me happy to look at it, except for the eyes. The eyes I didn't even notice until I was up in here coloring, and then they freaked me out because I just thought it was a top view. I didn't know there were bug eyes sticking out there. So it was a little gross for me, not gonna lie, but I'm really happy with the results. And by way of Hannah Carlzon, I might get the gold corn, or maybe the seasons, but to be perfectly honest, her style is not one that I gravitate towards, and from what I've seen, many of her books look very similar to me. So I have this one. I don't know that I'm going to be picking up any more. She's definitely not one of the artists that I need to complete the selection of. So yeah, I'm gonna work on this one, and then if I feel the need to pick up more, I certainly can. But that is Tales from the Forest Kingdom by Hannah Carlzon. Another lady in the ladies collection is Emily Lidhall Oberg, and this is her Fairy Tales book. I did complete one picture in here. I did this actually last month. And I did this all in a grays and black and white. There's only 5 pencils on the page. Now this is one of the ones that I wasn't sure that I would like, but I do enjoy the paper, and I can see some of the whimsical fantasy elements of the actual pages. And so I do look forward to coloring more in this. It's just, with limited time, you just got to pick your battles. So that's Fairy Tales by Emily Lidhall Oberg. And then the last lady, although there's several books to go, in this particular episode is going to be Joanna Basford. I did talk about her in the beginning of the video. This I had purchased secondhand from my friend Susie. There was nothing colored in it, but she was doing a de-stash to raise some funds for a fur baby, which I'm happy to announce she was able to get. And so I have done a few pages in here, and I really actually enjoy that I have the British version, only because I like seeing the U in color, because that is not an American thing. So I love that I have this version of it. And so I've completed this page right here. And there's some variety of elements. I don't know if you can see, but there are some stickles on the page. You can certainly feel it, but there should be a little bit of sparkle if you can see that there. I did this page here last month in June 2021 for one of Olga Rani's weekly challenges, and the challenge was Lotus. This I've marked because this is one of the pages that Poet Spice and I will be coloring sometime in the next near future, and so I just wanted to mark it so I don't forget, although I do need to write it down. And the other page I finished in here was also for Olga Rani's weekly challenge. This week it was for Pearl, and this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was 6 pencils that I used for this, and I actually wrote down the colors so that I could tie this page into it as well. I like this book. It does have quite intricate detail pages, but then it has more simpler pages. And this one I've mentioned in several different videos now. There won't be a consistent color theme throughout the book. I'm going to keep the pages that are facing each other very similar in scope, but otherwise I'm going to do whatever I want to by way of this particular book. But this is Ivy and the Inky Butterfly by Joanna Basford. This is Joanna Basford's Christmas book. Now, I have not finished anything in here, but I have started something. So we'll start with that one first. And it's this one right here. And so this one, I'm just tracing in a gold gel pen. As you can see the shimmer here. Once I've done all of the tracing, I don't know if I'm going to be filling in some parts with gold or if I'm just going to consider that done. Quite a few of these pictures in here I plan to do in this method where I'm just tracing with some sort of metallic gel pen, just because of the Joanna Basford books I have, this is probably my least favorite, although there are some images that I really enjoy. And that would include this one right here. Now, this is something that Corey is doing, and I don't know if she's doing it as a color along for Christmas in July, which sounds right, or if she's doing it through her Facebook group. She is Colorfully Optimistic here on YouTube. I'll link her below. But this is one of the pages that I will be finishing this month, and I thought that I would put a different spin on mine. I live in Hawaii, so we don't get the snow, we don't get the cool weather. I mean, it's green and greener here in Hawaii. So there's pluses and minuses for that. But I thought, okay, well, I can attack this by way of making this a tropical Christmas. So while most people are going to color that as snow, I'm going to color that as sand. I added some elements there. I added 2 tiki torches there, and then I added the tree there. And I'm hoping to do like a really vibrant blue, and then maybe sand down here, and then just making this more of a Christmas page that kind of represents what I would see here in Hawaii. Because we, by City Hall, during the Christmas season, we have Santa and Mrs. Claus sitting right outside of City Hall, but even Santa's wearing board shorts, slippers, and a aloha shirt. So I might as well color a Christmas color along in something that's more reminiscent to what I actually would see during Christmas time. But this is Joanna's Christmas by Joanna Basford. This is her newest book, although I think she came out with another teaching book, but this is Joanna Basford's Worlds of Wonder, and I have finished quite a few in here. The nameplate page, I thought there was stickles, but I don't feel anything on the page. I completed this one. This one is another picture that I added elements to. The book actually only has the house and the bird. I added the framing element, I added the tree, and I added the pathing there. It cements it more, and by doing this, for me at least, I don't feel a need to do a background because this is really the focus of the page. This one I did, and I think this is the one that Corey was hosting on her Facebook group as a color or a group color along, buddy color. And this one, I did add this sort of lattice element here. I did add the framing here. I did draw in these pots and added a few additional of these blue flowers here, just to give it a little bit more balance on either page. And then I added the horizon line as well as this, because it makes more sense this way. And again, because I've done this way, then it doesn't bother me that there's all of this white space behind it. But I really had fun with this page, and I think it's very striking with this sort of open lattice work like that. And this is the final page that I've done in this book. This is a story that I wrote based on what I thought this was about, and I had fun with both writing the story as well as coloring in the page, and I'm really happy and proud about this page. Actually, most of my coloring I'm really happy with. I mean, there are some elements that I wish I had done differently, but overall, I mean, I feel productive. I feel like I've accomplished something. I know I've spent my time in a way that was very helpful for me for both mental health as well as just de-stressing and just enjoying my time after work or on the weekends. And so yeah, that is World of Wonder by Joanna Basford. And the last book I'm going to show you is this, Joanna Basford's World of Flowers. And the reason I chose this for last is because this is the first book I picked up in January 2021. And this is what got me a little obsessed with coloring. So this I got from Target. This was the very first picture that I completed. I added some lettering up there. I know for some this is empty or not completed because there is no background. For me, I'll do backgrounds or I won't. I mean, it's really a personal choice. This isn't even something that I look at as incomplete. My pictures are complete when I say they're complete. Whether or not they're up to the standard of anyone else, I mean, that's actually none of my business. But I really enjoy this. And when I do this one here, I might do it in similar colors, although I didn't write anything down, or I might go more of a grayscale. I mean, every picture is an opportunity to do something fun and different. And I love that. This one here is something that I started this month, and I'm actually testing out some pencils. So this entire row is done in the 12 set of Holbein pastels. This is done in Erotitan pencils. This is done in Caran d'Ache Luminance pencils. And then this column will be Faber-Castell Polychromos. The Erogitans I actually borrowed from my mom. I didn't know she had them until recently, so I thought I'd try them out. I did buy some small sets of Luminance pencils. I did buy the 24 count of Polychromos pencils, and then I bought the 12-piece set of Holbein pastel pencils. And so this should be done by the end of the month. And I have some thoughts about this, but I'll talk about that in my completed pages video. This one, while I was flipping through, I realized was a whip. I did not write down when I started this, but I believe these are Brut Funners. So I think I started this when I got them, which was sometime, I think, in May. But yeah, this is a work in progress, and so I'm going to keep that flagged. This has been a perpetual whip because I started this in January, and these two videos are the only color alongs or color and chats that I have on my channel. I don't actually tend to do a lot of those, but until I film part 3 and part 4, these are going to stay as perpetual whips just because I started filming these. I want to film these. It's not one of the things that's interesting to me or drives me to do content for. Because other than the completed pages, haul videos, and now this collection set of videos, I don't do a lot of coloring type things in books on my channel. That's actually not what my channel is, at least not to me anyway. Now this is one of my favorite pages by way of the artwork, but I messed this up. And so this is going to be a forever whip. In fact, it's more of a tester page now because I know I could go over top of this with acrylic paint because that's what's bothering me. It's the background and not being able to get the colors that I wanted. But I am all for just owning up to failures. I was going to try to make that sound nicer, but no, this is a failure by way of I didn't know how to accomplish something that I wanted to, but I like having it here because it reminds me that, okay, well, you tried and it didn't work out, but it doesn't make me sad. It doesn't make me feel I need to buy a new book. I mean, not everything's going to turn out a 10 out of 10 or even a 5 out of 10. This is definitely a 2 out of 10. Because I kind of like how the lanterns look. And I did spend quite a bit of time on this. So I'm going to appreciate that it was calming until it wasn't. And then I just had to decide, okay, do I want to continue with this or do I want to just spend my time elsewhere? And that's what I chose. And so I'm not mad at this page. I'm a little sad because I do like the art, but I mean, I tried. And that's not a bad thing. And then this was the other completed page of this book. And this was done in mostly Prismacolors with some Papermate flares and mild liners. So that is the final book. Let me get my reference journal and I'll be right back. Editing Johanna here. I just realized there's one book I missed, and it's this one. It's Girls Coloring Book by Yuka Sato, and I do have one page in here. And I completed this one right here for last month, and this was actually a prompt for Olga Ronnie's challenge. This one I did pick up from Amazon Japan. That is actually part of the book. I didn't color those in. So it's a really cute and interesting little book. It's very reminiscent to me of Eerie. And so, yeah, I just looked up on my bookshelf and realized I had missed this one, but it is on the listing, so I did want to show you guys. As I mentioned in the first 3 of these, and I do have a playlist in the description box if you're interested, I am keeping track of this information in my long-term collection journal. This is a Maisie Lane Co. A5 dot grid journal that I purchased. I will link her website below as well if you're interested in getting one. It's not an affiliate link, it's just I really enjoy this book. And so what we did was the ladies right there. So it was 10 books in that. Now I am including How to Draw Inky Wonderlands in that, although as I mentioned by this asterisk, and then I said out loud, is I don't plan on ever coloring in that. So it's part of the collection because it's up on my shelf, but it's not something that I'm actually going to color in, if that makes sense. And so I've highlighted those 2 because Flora I have not colored in, and then that one will never be colored in. But of the 10 books, I have completed 15 pages, and then I have 6 whips, although one of them, as you guys heard just a few minutes ago, it will be a perpetual whip. It's more of a tester page than anything. And I did the math. I did it before I even started filming. So of the 4 videos I've done so far, I've completed 78 coloring pages. I have 15 whips, although some of them will be perpetual, and this incorporates 41 coloring books. So we've only got one more to go, and I will be filming that I think sometime this weekend. And then the last video in this series will actually be my coloring tools that I picked up between January and June 2021. And then in that video, I'll also be talking about the giveaway. All right, guys. Well, I'd love to know what you guys think of the ladies. And again, I know it's kind of silly because the majority of the artists that I collect are female. But again, I couldn't think of another way to kind of segment this population of books. It's almost dinner time, guys. I'm hungry and my throat hurts. More from talking than from sickness. All right, guys, I'd love to know what you guys think of this installment of my coloring books. There's one more to go of books, and then there'll be a final video of tools. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely leave me a comment. It does help my channel. And as always, aloha.